Hi, this is Donny Lowy from Closeoutexplosion.com. Today I'd like to show you how to find closeouts in New York. So if you're a wholesale buyer, whether you're a wholesaler yourself or you're a retailer and you're looking for closeout merchandise, New York is a great destination to go find that merchandise, but the challenge is finding the merchandise since it's not always centrally located. One of the ways is to go to the New York Fashion District, but there you're going to find mostly closeouts that are fashion related, but you could still find some really good closeouts over there, especially if you are in the fashion business. Now, to the east of the Fashion District, you have an area, another wholesale district, which is between Broadway and 6th Avenue, from approximately 23rd Street up to 34th Street, and you're going to find accessories over there. You're going to find items like belts, gloves, wallets, purses, dollar store items. So that's another good area to go to look for closeouts. Now, when you go to either of those two areas, or even if you go to an area outside of Manhattan, such as Brooklyn or Queens, where you can find many wholesale and closeout warehouses, such as my warehouse, which is in Greenpoint, whenever you go to any wholesale showroom, to any designer, to any closeout dealer, towards any wholesale warehouse, always be specific and let them know that you're looking for their closeouts, not for their regular items, because your regular items are going to be sold at the regular wholesale price. But you want to look for items that they want to close out, meaning items that they're having a challenging time selling, items that they have odds and ends left of, meaning if they were selling the lots of clothing at 50 pieces at a time and now they have 32 pieces left, so then those 32 pieces become a closeout which you're going to want to move. At the same time, they might have samples and they might have just actual merchandise which is difficult for them to sell because they don't have the same customers that you do, and your customers might be willing to buy those items. If you want to find closeouts in general, you could go online. You could use websites like wholesalecentral.com or closeoutcentral.com and look for businesses that are located in New York, and then you could visit those warehouses. Now, the reason why I think it makes sense to visit a warehouse in person is, first, you'll be able to get to see the merchandise in person. Second, you'll be able to negotiate since you are there in person, so you might get a lower wholesale and closeout price than if you were to order the items online. And third, once you're there, you might find other closeouts which the wholesaler might not have thought of or might not have realized that you could be interested in buying, and you yourself might not have realized the potential of those items until you actually saw those items in person. So it always makes sense when you can to visit the actual warehouse in person. Another way to get closeouts in New York is to actually go to closeout retailers, because they're already going to be selling their items at either very close to the wholesale price or the actual wholesale price, because they've bought those items at below the actual wholesale price because they are closeout retailers. Now, you might ask, but how are you going to make money if you buy those items? Well, first of all, you could buy the items at the regular retail price, and they still might be priced at substantially below the selling price in your local market. So for example, you have a store in South Africa and you go to a closeout retailer in New York like Amazing Savings, and you buy an alarm clock which retails for $50 and they have it at a closeout price of $9.99. And back in South Africa, that alarm clock might sell for $30. So you can go ahead and sell it for $25, still offered below the local selling price, and make money on that item. And that, you're not limited to electronics. You can do this with pretty much any item which is sold at a true closeout price at a closeout retailer in New York. Another advantage of visiting closeout retailers in New York is that they run sales and clearances for the items which they are having a hard time selling, or just simply items that they bought too many of, and now that the season is coming to an end, they want to just move out those items. Depending what part of the country you are in, you might be in a different season, and you might be able to buy those items and then sell them at close to the full retail price in your market. So if you go to a closeout retailer, look for the items that they are selling at a sale or at a clearance price. Consider buying those items. First do your research and then sell those items back at home at a higher retail price. Another thing you can do when you go either to a wholesale warehouse or you go to a closeout retailer is speak to the manager and ask if there's any incentives or any special deals he or she can make for you if you buy a larger quantity than the average customer buys at their store or at their warehouse. So if a customer comes to my warehouse and let's say regularly buys between 50 to 100 dresses, and of course there's no minimum in my warehouse, so some customers buy just a few dresses, but let's say if my average sale is 50 dresses, for example, and if someone comes to my warehouse and makes me an offer on 200 dresses, I'm going to have an incentive to give them a lower price since they're buying a much larger quantity. The same is true at wholesalers and at closeout retailers, provided that the manager has authority to offer you a discount. But it's always worth asking. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next time you're in New York, please visit my wholesale and closeout warehouse. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Have a great day.